The Disappointments Room is the worst rated horror movie of all time. Even with its highly anticipated budget, actors, and cinematography, the movie still seemed to flop, so I'm gonna figure out why. In order to understand why this movie performed so poorly, I'm actually gonna go into the Rotten Tomatoes site and see the reviews you guys left on this movie, and basically debunk them and review them and see why people left just such a bad opinion on the movie. Disappointments has this strange confidence of a much slicker, more decisive movie, and all of its sorts ofs don't add up too much. Overall, some movies do kind of have that plot flaw, okay? Like when you watch a movie and none of the plot's really making sense or it's all over the place, that could just ruin the whole movie overall. I mean, like, if you're ever watching a movie and it kind of doesn't make sense to you, how are you supposed to even be ready for the jump scare? If the movie isn't adding up, there's no substance or no background to really rely on. This person said, the Disappointments Room lives and dies up to its name. So basically, they're just hating, okay? They watched this movie, they're like, fuck this. I don't really fuck with this movie at all, okay? And honestly, I respect their opinion. Have you guys ever like walked into a theater, watched a movie, and you're just like, this is bullshit? Okay, like this movie is just not hidden, right? I mean, I think we've all done that before. I mean, personally, I have too. Katie Walsh has said this spooky house flick would be better off locked up in the attic and forgotten for good. Now, I understand the very, very harsh feedback for this movie, okay? It had a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, which, if you guys know, it is the worst score, okay? You can't go into the negatives, you know? There's nothing like that on Rotten Tomatoes. Honestly, if I'm watching a horror movie, the one thing I really want in a horror movie is like to be scared, okay? Or like some sort of suspense. And I think that goes with, you know, without saying, to be honest. Everybody wants to be scared or jump scared in a horror movie, so if you can't even do that well, I mean, overall your film's not gonna hit. The rotten review is basically me just watching the movie, okay? Nothing special, alright? But basically, after watching this movie, okay, I was bored, man. I mean, I gotta be honest with y'all, this review's not gonna be great because the entire movie I was waiting for some shit to happen, you feel me? Like, I was waiting for the action, I was waiting for the suspense, but all I got were flashbacks and memories, and it's like, I don't care, you know? Most of the action in the movie came near the end, which was like kind of good, okay? It was like, she was like, you know, smashing in this dude's head, but then we figure out that it's not real, you know what I'm saying? It's just fake, okay? And she was just tripping, right? She was trying to hit her kid or whatever. She was having a bad dream or something, okay? But other than that, there was nothing really crazy about this movie. You know, when you go into a different horror movie and you're watching that, like let's for example say like The Nun, okay? The Nun, we have so many jump scares, so many different weird messages and weird things that are inside of the movie that just keep you hooked the entire time. The Disappointments Room, it's literally just like if I was to vlog and then have like a cheesy, you know, ending scene where I'm just like hitting a pillow, you feel me? Like, other than that, I would like to give my flowers to Kate Beckinsale. I thought she was still a great actor, you know, she played the anxiety and stuff very well in the movie. And she was just like the main character that she did kind of play well. It's not really her fault, you know. I think if they just had more outside action, more, you know, creative kills, more, you know, and bro, if you're gonna introduce a character halfway through the movie, you might as well get like a gory kill out of it, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't do that. They introduced this dude halfway through the movie, and then this dude just like is just there, okay? Like there's no point for him to be there, right? So overall, I just thought the movie was like boring rather than entertaining. But Katie Beckinsale, she did do her thing, okay? She was, you know, she was a good actor. She did play the part. She did play the role pretty well. But other than that, that was the only thing that was pretty good about this movie, and the cinematography too, which I already noted, okay? The movie comparison is where I take the movie that I just reviewed and I review it amongst its same genre, more like mainstream movies, and I basically tell you guys which one I would prefer watching. Like for example, you might get Halloween and then you might get The Disappointments Room, and then I would tell you guys which one I would prefer watching over the two. I'm going to be generating a random list of horror movies that are going to go up against The Disappointments Room, so there's no bias or nothing. As you guys seen, the first movie is The Shining, which I feel like is the worst competition the Disappointments Room could have got. The Shining is a big incorporation of horror films all around. I mean, there's a lot of inspiration that's taken from this movie in general, more than most movies you have ever seen. The movie is based by the book written by Stephen King, and it's portrayed and acted very well. At first it did get like kind of some hate, you know, for the cast and different things like that, but I think overall it was very beautifully shot, very beautifully played out by the actors and everything. This is a cinematic masterpiece, okay? So to put it up against the Disappointments Room, it's fucking disappointing, okay? It's just, the Disappointments Room is not going to be able to win this round by any means, alright? You could throw in fucking every great actor, you could throw in Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler, you know, into the Disappointments Room, and still, even then, it still wouldn't come out to this win, okay? And honestly, if you haven't watched this movie, I definitely recommend you go ahead and check it out. The next movie on the list is Get Out, which, I mean, I think you guys all have seen this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie was like watched by everybody, okay? Get Out was like a really good horror movie. It was a very creepy horror movie, and it basically like depicted like these racist characters that were trying to like hypnotize this dude and capture him, which just makes it even creepier and weirder, to be honest. The movie was directed and made by Jordan Peele, which also did like some sketches and comedy things in his career, but then he moved on to like making more cinematic films. He's been doing really good at that shit, bro, because Get Out is one of the top tier movies that I have ever seen. And honestly, I mean, dude, the list is unfair, okay? You know, AI generated me the list that would be a banger for me to watch in my personal time. But when it comes to going up against movies, the Disappointments Room just doesn't stand the chance, you know? So Get Out's obviously going to take this win as well. And if you guys haven't seen this, I mean, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? But with that being said, I think I'm going to end off the video right here. If you guys want more of these, I could for sure bang out some more. Just let me know what movies you want me to review in the comments. Maybe even give me some, you know, terrible movies to review. But yeah, that's going to be it. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if y'all could like and sub, that would be fire. Later.